Where'd you go?
Mr. President, Winston Churchill once said that trying to maintain a good relationship with a communist was not unlike trying to woo a crocodile. And when it opened its mouth, you never could be quite certain whether it was trying to smile or eat you up. Now, Americans respect you, love you, and are pulling for you, but they're concerned that perhaps you are going to, or already have, allowed Gorbachev to eat you and us up. We have a new CBS News New York Times poll out tonight, and it indicates that the majority of those polled, 45%, largest number, are convinced that you'll make too many compromises to Gorbachev. The question is, what assurances can you give? How can you convince Americans that you have the command of the kind of complex information that's necessary here, not to have this young, energetic, intelligent, tough Marxist-Leninist eat you and us up?
Well, I haven't changed from the time when I made a speech about an evil empire. And I think I could sum up my own position on this with the recitation of a very brief Russian proverb. Doverya no proverya. It means trust, but verify. And there would be no way that I could sign a treaty just to be signing a treaty and with my fingers crossed that everything was all right. This is why it is hinged on arriving at solid verification measures and their agreement to them. And I think that in the past there has been a willingness on some to just look on the bright side and accept a treaty so that they could say, look, we've signed the treaty, whether the treaty worked or whether it benefited us or not. And there's no way that I could do that. And I assure the people now that that will never happen. That's why I walked out of Reykjavik. In Reykjavik, we had come to an agreement on literally total nuclear disarmament, except that at the very last minute, they said it could only take place if we gave up SDI. That's when I came home.
President, point of information, this is not a follow-up, but did I understand you correctly to say that you have not changed your mind from the time you described the Soviet Union as the, quote, evil empire?
The Soviet Union has, back through the years, made it plain, and certainly declared, leader after leader has declared, his pledge that they would observe the Marxian concept of expansionism, that the future lay in a one-world communist state. All right, we now have a leader that is apparently willing to say, or has never made that claim, but is willing to say that he's prepared to live with other philosophies in other countries. But again, they say that doesn't mean that we take his word for that and sign a treaty. He alone may not be able to deliver on something of that kind. We'll sign a treaty, as I've repeatedly said here, when we are sure that that treaty is as beneficial to us as it is to them. And I would like to call your attention to the fact that in 1981, when I proposed the zero option of these intermediate weapons, they indignantly walked out of the negotiations and said they wouldn't be back. Well, they came back. And as a matter of fact, they came back and announced a 0-0 as their own idea. Now, I think that some of the people who are objecting the most, and just refusing even to accede to the idea of ever getting under any understanding, whether they realize it or not, those people, basically down in their deepest thoughts, have accepted that war is inevitable and that there must come to be a war between the two superpowers. Well, I think as long as you've got a chance to strive for peace, you strive for peace, but you don't have peace and surrender. And there's no way that we're going to surrender. No way that we're going to sign a treaty that is not, as I say, to the benefit of all of us.
Mr. President, in something of the same vein about Mr. Gorbachev, I think all our polls this week may show the same thing. The ABC